Hello, everybody. Hey, girls. Hi, guys, and everybody in between. It's Trinity J. A-S-M-R. And today I have a different type of video. I have this deck of cards, and it's called the Self-Love deck. Okay, so we're gonna get into some, I guess, a little personal questions about self-love and myself. You're probably gonna be learning some stuff about me in this video. So before we get started, make sure you like it, and we're gonna get right into this, okay? I don't know what these cards are gonna say. They are literally brand new. So we're gonna be honest and we're gonna be truthful in this video. I probably should have did this video last because knowing me, I am emotional. So hopefully I don't cry and mess up my makeup because I have other videos to film, okay? Alright, so I'm just gonna grab some and we're gonna get started. I think this is a good bit of cards. So let's see what we have, okay? The first one says, if you could marry yourself today, what vows would you commit to keeping? If you could marry yourself today, what vows would you commit to keeping? I think that I would commit to, loving myself. I think self-love is so important. It's so important. I think that there would be way less unaliving in the world if people love themselves more, if they value their own lives. So I think that that would be one of the things that I would definitely commit to if I could marry myself today. The next one says, if you could erase a hurt that you caused another, which person would you choose and which pain would you take away? Oh my God, this is personal. What did I get myself into? Wow, okay. If I could erase a hurt that I caused another, which person would it be? It would be my ex. And which pain would you take away? I would take away the pain of leaving him in at his lowest. I'm not gonna get into detail about it. I had my reasons. The only thing I regret about it was that it hurt him. I never meant to hurt him, So that's my answer to that. Let's keep it cute and short. Alright, next one. What are you lying to yourself about, and why are you so afraid of the truth? Whoa, what are you lying to yourself about? What am I lying to myself about? What am I lying to myself about? And why am I afraid of the truth? What am I lying to myself about? I honestly can't think of anything that I can honestly say that I lied to myself about, so I'm not sure about this one. Alright, so next one. that, because now it's like I wouldn't give them the time of day, but it took elevating and it took learning to have this mindset to be like, ew, are you kidding me? Like, who was I, to allow that to even be dealing with that person? Ugh. So yeah, that's that one right there. Is it possible to love yourself more? And if so, why aren't you? I think it's always possible to love yourself more, as you grow and you learn more about yourself and you make mistakes and you learn from them and you grow more. There's always room to love yourself more and appreciate yourself for who you are and who you want to become, So I do feel like it's possible to love yourself more. And if so, why aren't I? I am. I'm definitely always seeking, ways to love myself more, and always trying to self-reflect and check myself to make sure, I'm putting myself first and I'm not allowing people to treat me in ways that I wouldn't treat them or ways that I don't deserve. So, yeah. If you could carry another person's burdens, whose load would you lighten? I'd definitely say, okay, if I had to make it one person, oh my gosh, I'd probably say my mother. She had a lot of kids, and yes, we had, my dad around, but I just think being the woman that she is, being a woman of God, and she has literally people at her job that call her mama, and having a big family, she carries a lot from the time that I was a baby to before me to now. Like, she carries a lot of people's stuff. A lot of people come to her with things, and a lot of times she has to, make sure, she has to like kind of load it off, like pray about it and unwind. And I just feel like she carries so much. So if I could definitely lighten the load of anybody, it would be my mother. These are some good questions. Okay. If you could go back in time and relive a day exactly how it happened, which would you choose and why? If you could go back in time and relive a day exactly how it happened, which would you choose and why? This question reminds me of like, what was the best day of your life? And there's not too many specific days that I can think of and be like, oh, I wish I could just do that all over again. I've had certain experiences, but to say a full day. Okay, so we're gonna remix this question and say that I haven't lived a day yet that I'd like to relive, but I look forward to, a bright and better future that I'd love to relive over and over and over again. Okay. What line do you draw that people shouldn't cross, and what happens if they do? The line of respect. If you do something that's disrespectful to me, or if it's something that you do to me that I feel like I wouldn't do to you out of respect, or just as me respecting the relationship or friendship that we have. If you do something that I wouldn't do to you, that's my line. You've crossed it, and I'll be cutting people off so fast. That's honestly why I don't have a lot of friends, because I'm quick to cut you off if I feel like you're not as solid as I am. And I think that could be a problem, because I don't give too many second chances, because it's like, I would never do that to you. So the fact that you're playing with me like this, I won't continue to waste my time and allow you to keep playing with me. So I'm going to cut you off. And I feel like that could definitely be a bad thing, because people do deserve second chances, especially when it's not a serious thing. But at the same time, I don't know, I just don't be having the patience for the BS. Not when I know my heart and I know my intentions are pure, So yeah, that's that one. you most happy, and how can you live in more of those moments from now on? I'm most happy when I am focused. When I'm focused on my goals, I'm focused on doing things that I enjoy, trying new things. I am the happiest. I love trying things for the first time. I love exploring. So what can I do? How can I live in more of those moments? By continuing to explore and try new things and just live, live, make memories, go out, communicate and collaborate and fellowship, so yeah. What's the biggest obstacle in the way of getting to the next level, and how can you hurdle it? The biggest obstacle in the way of me going to the next level is myself. I've been a procrastinator and I've been lazy for a long time. So I've been fighting that the past few years to stay consistent, stay active, And that's, when I say active, I'm not just talking about physically, but actively doing something with a purpose, And so I think that a lot of times I get in the way of myself, and I can stop me from getting where I need to be. So how can I hurdle it? By continuing to plan, to stay consistent, to set goals with intention and execute. In what ways have you grown from your last failure? Oh, these are some fire questions. In what ways have you grown from your last failure? So, okay, the first thing we have to identify is my last failure. What was my last failure? Okay, to me, immediately the first thing that comes up to my head is after being on a fitness journey for about a year and a half, I stopped eating healthy, and I stopped working out for like 6 weeks, and I gained like 20 pounds. So it's not really a failure because you have your ups and downs in a fitness journey. However, we're just gonna call it a failure because I've undid a lot of the work that I put in. So in what ways have I grown from my last failure? I've learned to take it little by little, even if, and I've learned that I don't have to go so hard every day. If I want this to be a journey and I want it to be continuous for the rest of my life, I have to remember giving 20 minutes of activity fitness is better than 0, So give something every day and it adds up, just staying active is very important. Having more greens in my diet, just being more mindful of how I'm eating and everything like that. Those are like the small wins, and I feel like the growth from me failing and gaining weight back, it's just the small little things that you learn and you remind yourself of when you make mistakes like that. When was the last time you allowed negativity to snatch a piece of your peace? And how can you prevent it from happening in the future? It was a recent thing that happened probably a couple months ago where I told a story time about an experience I had getting my hair done, where I had to hold a baby for 10 hours getting my hair done, and literally the internet went crazy about it. And when I tell you, it was draining to see so many negative comments when literally all I was doing was sharing my experience. I never exposed the hairdresser or anything like that. And so for people to come at me like, oh, you're trying to bash a single mother, I'm not bashing nobody because I didn't identify nobody. I just told my experience, and I was talking about how it was unprofessional and we should not normalize having to watch kids when we get our hair done. So I literally had to turn off my comments. That video has like over 10 million views across platforms. I had to turn off my TikTok comments because that's where they're most toxic, and it snatched my yeah, I can prevent it from not paying attention. That'd be the best thing for me to do. Alright, which parts of your life do you need to be more careful in choosing who you give access? Well, honestly, I'm a very private person. People don't be knowing my personal business at all. I haven't shared personal stuff since Twitter, and I haven't been on Twitter consistently in over a decade. So I think I do very well in being careful about who I give access to my personal life, you see what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm good with that. We're getting low on cards. I didn't think that I was going to be able to answer all of these so fast. What seeds of doubt planted in your mind do you most need to weed out and guard against? What seeds of doubt planted in your mind do you most need to weed out and guard against? I think the biggest seed of doubt that I've planted in my mind is not getting to a point where I'm able to take care of my family. That's one thing I want to be able to do, is take care of my family and future generations. And I do have like slight doubt that I know that it's possible. It's just reaching it, you know what I mean? It's gonna take a lot to get there. So there is a little slight doubt, if I'm being realistic. And that's what I need to weed out, you know? Yeah. What do you miss most about yourself? Wow. And the card says at the top, it says, miss you. Oh my God. That's like adorable. It kind of makes me want to cry a little bit, because it makes me think about my younger self. You know, when we're young, we're innocent before things happen to us, before negative things and trauma happens. We're so innocent. We're just so grateful for life. So what do I miss most about myself? I miss when I didn't have to be so guarded and so protective of myself. I could just live freely, you know, but we live in such a crazy world, and people just don't care about you as nearly as much as you could care about yourself. And it's just such a less loving world. So I miss just being able to be more free, if that makes sense. I don't know. Who is responsible for your happiness? Describe how they have been handling the responsibility lately. Wow. So I could say a few people, but I'm going to circle this back around to me, and I'm gonna say I am responsible for my happiness. One, because we are in control of our emotions. So yes, we may have friends and loved ones and partners and things like that can, you know, help us to be and remain happy, but at the same time, it's up to us to find that happiness within ourselves, to allow them to build on that, you know what I mean? Because if you're not happy inside, nobody on the outside can make you happy, okay? So I'm responsible for my happiness. And it says, describe how you've been handling the responsibility lately. I think I've been doing well. On days that I'm not as happy, I do recognize it, and I try to reflect on, why am I not happy today, you know? And I try to do things to make me happy, no matter what that might be. It might be going out to get a walk, it might be shopping, therapy, it might be having a conversation with somebody. Like, I might be upset because I'm holding in my feelings and I need to talk to that person so I can feel better, you know what I mean? It's just identifying those things that are taken away from my happiness and getting rid of them, or fixing them, or, you know, just evaluating them and finding things that make me happy, you know? Yeah. Where are you going in life, and how do you plan to get there? I want to be where the people are. I don't even know if that's the specific lyrics, but I want to always be in front of people to inspire them and to let them know that they're not alone, that a lot of us think alike, a lot of us live alike, and we should just continue to make the best out of our lives. So yeah, and how do I plan to get there? By continuing to make my content, continuing to be a free-spirited personality to everybody that I come in contact with. So yeah, and spreading my light, when I come in contact with people. In what ways could you step out of your comfort zone a little to reach more of your goals? I think by making more channels and pages, because I do so many things. I'm known literally on the internet already for rapping, doing makeup, ASMR, and fitness. Those are 4 niches that I've done and I've dominated in. So I could make more pages. It's gonna take more work, but I could literally, that would be me getting out of my comfort zone, working harder every day, literally making content. That will take me out my comfort zone, and it'll help me reach more of my goals for sure. Alright, we got 2 cards left. Let's do the left hand. If saying no was a form of self-love, when is a time you wish you would have loved yourself more by doing so? I wish I would have said no to them hooligans back in the day that I gave my time to and my heart to, especially when I was a little girl and I was innocent. See, that's what I was talking about. We let people come in our lives and they do us wrong and they turn us into like people that we were not before. So if I would have said no back then, I would have been loving myself more, but I didn't know any better. So I allowed people to do me wrong and things like that. So yeah. And the last one, if your smiles were a compass, what could you do more often to better follow them? If your smiles were a compass, what could you do more often to better follow them? So basically asking, what can I do more often to smile? I think, well, good conversation makes me smile. What else makes me smile? I love to laugh, so I want to go to, this is random, but I want to go to some comedy shows. There's this guy I just discovered on TikTok. His name is Nate Jackson. I want to see him so bad. He's so funny. And so yeah, like just doing things that make me happy will make me smile more, of course, more gaming, more shopping, more reaching my goals, more time spent with my family and loved ones, more comedy tours and things like that. I don't know, I'm a simple girl. So that's it. So that is the end of this video. I think this was a great little session. I feel like I was in therapy or something. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed recording it. It was something different and it was fun for me. So make sure you like this video if you stayed this late, and if you found something new about me, if you found something out, let me know what it was. What was your favorite question? And if you guys want to get this deck of cards, I should have a promo code